I want to show you how to day trade large cap stocks using my watch list. And today's example is going to be Pt2. So first thing I do in the morning, about an hour and a half before the market opens, is I open up trade ideas. I'm scanning for stocks gapping over 3% with 100K in volume in the pre-market and a news catalyst. So I go through these and I notice a lot of these. We got BABA, JD, Pt2, and so on, Pt2. A lot of these are Chinese stock names, and I'm noticing that, you know, with the war and supply chain issues, there is not necessarily specific headlines for these, but because they're all moving, this is going to be a good category of stocks to trade today. You just got to make sure that the volume is relatively high on the one that you pick. So I picked Pt2 because I've traded it before. In fact, I actually think I have an example of it in here somewhere, but I like Pt2. I think it's pretty predictable, especially on high volume days when there's a catalyst. And today, the catalyst is just Chinese stock. It doesn't even matter what the news headline is. So that's a good sign it's going to bring volume in. So I picked Pt2. Now, next step, close out trade ideas, map out the pivots. I want to show you what I posted this morning before the market opened. So here's my stock twits. Every day I post pivot levels. So you can see I've got 17, 05, 26, 12, and so on. So what you're going to do is you're going to map these onto your chart. So, by the way, follow me at Hey Little Trader for my daily watch list. Sometimes I don't post anything when I don't see anything good, but today this felt right. So this is how you could have traded it. So now what we're going to do is we go to Pt2, go to the daily chart. I usually start on the 5-minute chart. And by the way, I do have another video explaining how to day trade large cap stocks. So I have all my pivots mapped out just as I had mentioned on the list. 1705, 2612, and so on. Now, one thing, one level that I don't draw out on the watch list, or I don't write it down on the watch list, are my long-term trend lines, because they're diagonal, they're going to be changing over time. But these are very important. So I drew a line here connecting these, and we actually had a line coming through into today's price action, which is really important. So I'm just going to do a quick little zoom in. You can see how it looks. This white looking line right here, this is where the price action was at about an hour and a half before the market opens. And I like to mark out where that price is, because usually that a lot of times it is going to align with a pivot. So that was the 5 a.m. marker. Now if we squish this back together, I want to show you something. So this is what I look out for. I want to see, so we're at this white line at 5 a.m., right? So I want to see how the price reacts when it gaps into this level. So I look at the history to see, has the price gapped into this level before? And you can see over here, here, and here, when it sharply gaps down, it seems to bounce a little bit. Here, all of these little spots. So I thought with a huge gap down, let me just squish this in again. We had, in the recent price action, we had high velocity move to the downside, and then today we gapped into this area of potential support. It's a pivot, and when you get down into a pivot like that, you can usually take advantage of a bounce. So I wrote in my stock twits, potential bounce area where it was sitting at. So let's go to the 5-minute chart, see how that looks. And I'm going to drop my indicators on here. There we go, much better. Okay, so this is what I was looking at in the morning. The chart looked like, this. So here's the pre-market in this grayed out area here. So I was thinking we would actually drop to 26.12 as like a liquidity grab and then bounce up to 30.26. So these levels for a day trade, usually that's going to be in the opening hour. So the first hour to hour and a half is when I would hope that this level would be moved through. So with all the requirements being met, high relative volume, catalyst, 100K in the pre-market at least. The last requirement is that the ATR window has to be bigger. So let's take a look at what the ATR is. ATR is average true range, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm talking about. That's very important. This is something that algos are looking for. So algos will actually push the price through these windows when the ATR is, when the window between the two pivots is at least around the size of the ATR. So if I go here, I can drop an indicator on that will tell me what the ATR is real quickly. 4.57, and that's now. So this morning, I think it was a little bit lower, like 4.4, I don't know. What did I write down? Let's see. Let's see what I wrote here. 4.41 is what I said. So that was the ATR measurement, and ATR is average true range, so that's always going to be changing. How big the window is between the two pivots. And I can quickly do that by taking the distance like this. 4.09 is about the distance, is about the window distance. So that means this is a good candidate for algos to push through this window. Now let's see what actually happened. $4.73. So the ATR this morning, an hour and a half before the market, was 4.41, and algos were able to push it fully through the window to get a whopping 4.73. That's insane. That's an incredible amount. So this morning, I was buying down here and selling up here. Once it gets to the levels, you probably should close out. You could even hold a little piece, create your stop level, and if it breaks your stop level, you want to exit. But generally, once the price gets pushed through the window, you're going to be wanting to take your position off and taking it off in increments on the way up. So, and then I actually ended up getting short up here and stayed for a little bit, but then I didn't want to sit here, so I ended up exiting my position around here. But as you can see, it went all the way back through the window, so you could have taken this ride twice, long up to here and then short down to here. So when there is enough volume, you can take the ride up and down multiple times. Today happened to be a really good high volume day for PDD and other Chinese stocks, so I'm sure I didn't look at the other ones because I know I like PDD and I find that it's pretty predictable for me, so that's why I picked this one. So yeah, those are the things that you want to be looking for when you're trying to pick a stock to day trade. I was thinking that this would be a swing once we got up here. I was thinking that I would hold it short for actually more than just today. But I ended up just closing it out. So, but it's fine. the trade worked out really well anyway. So yeah, follow me on StockTwits so that you can see my large cap watch lists. This was a really great example of how you could have used my watch list and use my day trading strategy.